Jimmy Kimmel had like this little comedy skit with this kid that was supposed to play the role of Kanye West and the interviewer from the BBC. And they were just making fun of him throughout the interview. They're drinking milkshakes. And he's trying to make it seem as though Kanye West is nothing but a child. Kimmel also does some commentary on Kanye, and he says the following. Kanye, said he's the #1 rock star on the planet, whatever planet he's on. But the reality is, he is #1. I mean, he's not a rock star technically, right? But he is at the top of the charts constantly. Anything Kanye does. I mean, Kanye does this interview with BBC. Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, because he acted like a crazy person.
He acted like a crazy person at some points, but regardless, it doesn't matter. Kanye West.
Yeah, but then Snooki was
you can't compare Snooki to Kanye West.
Apparently, we can compare Kanye to anybody. Like, he's Muhammad Ali, he's Nelson Mandela. Yeah, now he's Snooki. I'm sorry, did I just offend somebody?
Right. But, like, to be fair to Kanye, he accomplished something in music,
yeah,
right?
No
Whereas Snooki accomplished, falling down on the boardwalk on her face after drinking, far too much.
Yeah. I mean, what did Snooki do to accomplish or to gain her fame? She didn't do anything.
Right.
She made a fool out of herself. And then Jimmy Kimmel also said, does Kanye West know you're not supposed to be your own hype man? I disagree with that as well. You want to make it in any industry where you're considered a public figure, you have to be your own hype man.
I couldn't disagree with you guys.
No, you're wrong. You're so wrong.
I'm not wrong, but there's a degree of decency that is fine. And no, you're not supposed to go around saying you're the greatest.
You do. You do have to say that.
No, you don't.
You know why? Because if you don't go around saying, what did you say? I didn't even hear what he said.
I said earlier in the show that we're the end of the angry white men, and now that was it.
So that's what's wrong with your generation.
Yeah, like
thereby losing the argument, of course. At least on YouTube.
You're really letting your count side show.
No, in this day and age, the more you toot your own horn, the further you get. And I think that's been my personal problem with press and everything. Because I don't like going to the freaking parties and talking about how I'm the most important freaking person in the world. But people who do that get further in their careers. It's very frustrating.
Isn't there something that is not awesome? Yeah, okay. Isn't there something that's not awesome about that? You're cool with that?
No.
Go ahead.
Yeah, of course you're all right. It's unbearable, but it works.
It works.
Right? And what makes it not so unbearable is when you do it tongue-in-cheek, like Muhammad Ali did. Now, the problem with Kanye is his tongue is not quite where it needs to be in his cheek, right? So he's not to the point where, like, it's Donald Trump, where it's not tongue-in-cheek at all. It's just a stupid, annoying, full of crap hype man who just goes around hyping himself, I'm the best, Obama's a foreigner.
And Kanye West didn't inherit millions from his father either.
Right.
Kanye West did it on his talent. He didn't even get to the point where anybody would pay an ounce of attention to him until he made it based on his talent.
Right. So if Trump is on the scale of being a bullshit hype man based on nothing, and I know they say he made millions and stuff. No, he didn't. He's a terrible failure. He went bankrupt. His companies went bankrupt 4 different times, and his father was already a millionaire, and all he did was hype himself up and build up this brand name. That's all. Okay. Anyway, he's like a glorified Snooki. Now, on the other end is Muhammad Ali, who's doing it tongue in cheek and is a great hype man that we all enjoyed. I would say Kanye is closer to Muhammad Ali. He's not Muhammad Ali, but he's closer to him than he is to Trump.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, Trump is in a league of obnoxious, unbearable hype all by itself. But I don't like a world where we think it's. I love the world. I think it's unfortunate that we live in a place where Anna, I'm sure, is correct that no, you got to hype yourself. You got to be your #1 hype man. That blows. It blows. It makes for a ton of unbearable people. And Kanye, and why Jimmy Kimmel was able to make fun of him, Kanye is, while enormously talented, unbearable.
Well, here's my proof that Anna's right, because I am an amazing comedian. And I have an hour special that was chosen Best of the Year by iTunes and Punchline Magazine. And the reason I have to tell people that, because it turns out if I don't, fucking nobody will.
Exactly.
Okay, so, and if I had a little bit more press, maybe I would be.
I got it, but there are degrees. You have to do it because you were struggling at the time, struggling now. You have to make. Yeah, obviously, I don't get that you should never tout yourself, but there's a point at which you stop doing it.
No, you're right. You're right, and the work should speak for itself.
At some point, the work. And Kanye, the irony is that Kanye, motherfucker, the work is now speaking for itself.
It
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
It is. Okay,
I
so
like-
let me
can I-
let me jump in
Go ahead.
because now we got to talk about his response to Kimmel because
Okay.
his tweets to Kimmel were hilarious. So let's take a look at the first one. He says Jimmy Kimmel is out of line, and of course all caps, is out of line to try and spoof in any way the first piece of honest media in years. And of course he's referring to his interview. He continues, Jimmy Kimmel, I don't take it as a joke. You don't have scumbags hopping over fences trying to take pictures of your daughter. Jimmy Kimmel, put yourself in my shoes. Oh no, that means you would have gotten too much good pussy in your life.
I like that one. I like that one. I like that.
I do too.
You can't put yourself in my shoes. Your face looks crazy. Is that funny? Or if I had a kid say it would it be funny?
Yeah, if he had a kid say
Yeah.
it, would it be funny?
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Does he have more?
Yeah, there's
Oh,
more.
for
Wow.
Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Okay. Or for God's sake.
Should I do a spoof about your face? Or you
Affleck?
fucking Ben Affleck? And then hashtag no disrespect to Ben Affleck.
All disrespect to Jimmy Kimmel. That's hilarious. Okay. I like how he didn't want to like offend Ben Affleck
Ben's
in the
cool.
middle of that, right? He's pissed, but
And then, I like you. I like you. You know me. I went to your family's wedding. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who you made it clear to me wasn't your family when I was on then. I don't understand this one at all. Then phone with you 5 minutes ago. You manipulative media motherfucker.
yeah. Kind of weird that you can't quite understand Kanye sometimes.
Sarah Silverman is 1,000 times funnier than you, and the whole world knows you told him. And then he posted a few pictures. Let's look at this one. No good pussy. And then one more. Jimmy Kimmel face motherfucker.
That's funny.
But see, Ben, there's a little tongue in cheek. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, you can't in the middle
but
of
in
an angry
tongue-in-cheek,
rant, you can't put up SpongeBob SquarePants.
It's tongue in cheek.
If you were actually super.
But tongue in cheek. But clearly, also in there is this complete lack of humility and any understanding that you're fair game to get made fun of. Like this big resentment. Like, how dare
Yeah.
you make fun of me, Kanye West?
Yeah.
Hey, of course we're going to make fun of you.
I blame Twitter because all this shit happened before. People couldn't immediately tweet something. They'd have to think about it, go to sleep, wake up the next day, and not give a shit anymore.
Right.
And that's the problem. I mean, I've gotten into that where I'll tweet. I'm like, who gives? Why am I even bothering? So
Yeah, totally, you're
So
right.
I think that probably would have happened a lot more with a lot of other people in the past, except we didn't have Twitter.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah, but you know,
I got a letter today from Kanye West. Apparently, it's in regard to that show I did a week ago Wednesday.
yeah. So in adjudicating who's right and wrong here, Kanye is too butthurt over it. And he undercuts his own argument for being a god.
Totally.
Because on the flip side is if you read the Bible,
Right,
that's
God's
exactly
pretty
what God would
vengeful.
have done. Yeah, he goes, oh, well, did you just say something about me? Is that what just happened? Because I can smite you, motherfucker, okay? And I'm not bringing in SpongeBob, okay? I'm going to do it real. So there's a lot of, don't say anything bad about me, otherwise I will fuck you up in the Bible. So maybe he is a god in that sense.
Hey guys, this is Jenny. This is Jenny from Jenny Nike, Jenny Loop and FLJerseys.com. Yeah, our link JennyNFLJerseys.com has changed to Jenny Loop and FLJerseys.com. So customers, please pay attention to this. So the previous link for Jenny NFL jerseys didn't work now. So many videos. So I changed some videos link and some didn't change. So customers, please pay attention. Jenny Loop and FL jerseys is working. They are the same. Okay, now review jerseys. They are all 2013. They are all 2013 new jerseys. The first is Baltimore Ravens, number 58, size 44. The second is Miami Dolphins New Jerseys, number 11. And the third is for Pittsburgh Steelers, number 75. And the fourth is for Rams jersey. Rams jersey number 29. 29. And this jersey is so hot in my website. It's for Minnesota Vikings for Adrian Peterson and size 40. Okay, now let me review this jersey, this white jersey for you. Wait for a moment. So I had to tell you, my friend, a lot of guys asked me to do the no shitty numbers. I'm sorry that the factory haven't do the shitty numbers. Haven't do the no shitty numbers now. Perhaps after 1 or 2 weeks, the no shitty numbers will come out. First, let's see the logo, Vikings. And the fly wire and the centered NFL logo. And Adrian Peterson's number 28. Size 40. You can see the Nike logo was ironed. The other Nike logo was also ironed. And the size tag Peterson, this guy's name. Okay guys, thanks for watching this Minnesota Vikings Adrian Peterson white jersey.
Hi, today's video is going to be on the Royal Mail privatization. So should you buy shares in Royal Mail? And if you do decide to buy, how do you go about doing so? Now, the first thing to say is that yes, at first glance, Royal Mail looks like a pretty rubbish business. Most of us are sending far fewer letters than we did 10 or 20 years ago. And this is a company that over the long term has had pretty poor financial performance and rotten industrial track record, lots of strikes and work to rules and all the rest of it. But if you look a bit more closely, Royal Mail is actually a rather attractive business. And that's because it's positioned in a sexy growth area. That's the parcels business. In fact, almost half of Royal Mail's revenue now comes from parcels. And as internet shopping continues to inevitably grow, I think Royal Mail's parcels business will grow with it. So the only question is, can Royal Mail's parcels business grow fast enough to outweigh the decline in the old-fashioned letters business? Now, it looks like it's probably going to work out fine and there's enough growth in parcels for that to happen. So, that makes it seem like, well, Royal Mail is potentially an interesting investment. So the next question is, well, what will the price be? Is the valuation reasonable? Well, we don't know what exactly the share price will be for the sale, but we do know it will be somewhere between 260p per share and 330p. And that works out at a market value of between 2.6 billion, that's a market cap of 2.6 billion, or 3.3 billion pounds. Now, Royal Mail made a profit last year of 324 million pounds. So if actually in the end the Royal Mail is sold at the highest possible price, 330p, it's a 3.3 billion market cap, the company will have very, very roughly a sort of price earnings multiple of around 9 or 10. And that's quite reasonable for a company with a bit of growth potential. And Royal Mail is also planning to pay quite a generous dividend. And at that highest price, at that 330p share price, that dividend will work out at just over 6% dividend yield. So you've got a company where profits actually grew 60% up from the previous year, that's paying a dividend yield of just over 6%. That looks like quite an attractive valuation. And I think that's why a lot of retail investors will want to get involved. So how do you actually do it? How do you actually buy shares? Well, you need to apply for shares, and hopefully if things go well, you'll then be granted all the shares you apply for. But if there's big demand, you may not get everything that you ask for. You also, if you're going to make an application, you've got to apply for at least £750 worth of shares. Now, there's a Royal Mail website where you can make that application. The site is royalmailshares.service.gov.uk. Or you could also apply via most of the well-known stockbrokers such as Hargreaves Lansdown. So you make the application, you need to do it by Tuesday, October the 8th, and then hopefully you'll get some shares back. And the good news is that the institutions, they've also been allowed to apply for shares in a separate sale. So the government have reserved some of the shares for private investors and some of the shares for the big institutions. And the reports are coming through that the institutional demand has been high. So that means that the share price is likely to be closer to 330 than 260. In fact, it may well come in at 330p. And the good news is, if the institutional demand is so high, that means there's a good chance that private retail investors will be able to sell their shares onto the institutions for a quick profit shortly after they bought. Or alternatively, private investors may decide to hang on for the long term. But there's at least an opportunity there for a quick profit if you want one. Now, don't get me wrong, nothing is guaranteed in life. There are potential problems. It looks like there's going to be another Royal Mail strike at the end of October. And there are also other competitors coming into the parcels business, and so Royal Mail's growth may not be as large as I'm suggesting. But for me, it looks pretty attractive. A decent valuation, prospects for growth, and plenty of profit being made and growing profits. So I think a lot of private investors will understandably be very interested. And whatever you decide to do, good luck.
You don't know how to express yourself, so you just gotta sing. Jizz in my pants.
It's my dick in a box.
Lock eyes from across the room. Down my drink while the rhythms boom. Take your hand and skip the names. No need here for the silly games. Make our way through the smoking crowd. The club is the sky and I'm on your cloud. Moving close as the lasers fly. Our bodies touch and the angels cry. Leave this place, go back to yours. Our lips first touch outside your doors. The whole night what we've got in store. Whisper in my ear that you want some more.
Wow, you know it's Christmas and my heart is open wide. Gonna give you something so you know what's on my mind.
A gift real special, so take off the top.
Take a look inside.
I just had sex.
I need a few things from the grocery.
It's my dick in a box.
It's cash or credit and
I just had sex, and it felt so good.
It's my dick in a box. My dick in a box, girl. It's my dick in a box. My dick in a box, girl.
now I jizz in my pants. The best 30 seconds of my life. Don't tell your friends or I'll say you're a slut. Plus it's your fault you were rubbing my butt. I'm very sensitive, some would say that's a plus. Now I'll go home and change. I haven't felt great. It felt so good when I did it with my penis. Next day, my alarm goes off and I jizz in my pants. Open my window and a breeze rolls in and I jizz in my pants. When Bruce Willis was dead at the end of Sixth Sense, I jizzed in my pants. I just ate a grape and I jizzed in my pants. It literally just happened. I went